Welcome to Hey, What If Today, where we don't just talk, but we take the small steps that can change our lives because today matters more than you think. Hey, Denise.
Hi, Mel.
So good to be back with you.
So great to be
And
here.
still in one of our favorite places.
Yes, the mountains of North Carolina.
The North Carolina mountains, where we both went to school, where we both have so many memories. And thankfully, we're continuing to make new memories.
New memories every
all the
single time.
Yes. What's really cool about this place is we live in Charlotte, North Carolina. And, but we often come up to
Get away and
get
play.
away up here in close to Banner Elk, North Carolina. It's so beautiful. This is Denise and Kenny's house. And oh my gosh, it is such a happy place.
It's such a gift.
It is. It really is. And so it's been nice being able to chat with you guys from this place. And we're really excited about what we're going to talk about today because I do think it's something. I know every week we're saying this is something women struggle with. I really do believe I do. You do. And hey, what if today good enough was really enough?
Yeah. Good enough was really enough.
So
I
what's
think
our
women
problem
struggle with this.
What's our problem?
Well, our problem is that we say something and we think, oh, we're not good enough. Or, you know what? I haven't perfected this yet. When I do, then I will.
Yeah.
And the I will never come.
Right.
Tomorrow never comes.
Oh, yes. No, it does come.
Yeah.
And if you haven't taken a small step, you're still where you were the day before.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So the whole episode of is good enough really enough? And the answer is yes. And we're going to talk about it.
It has to be. Yeah, that's right. I know for me, again, it's another procrastination piece of my life because I'll think, oh, well, I don't have everything in place. I need to get more things in my life in order before I take on starting a podcast or before I take on, even it might be something like, I want the weather to be nice so I can sit outside and read my new book.
Or go for that walk.
Yes.
How many times we said, the weather's not great.
Yes. Who cares? Walk in place in your living room. You can watch whatever you want to watch. Just get up off the couch, right?
Uh-huh.
But we have
it is
that,
an excuse.
It's good enough. Things aren't good enough yet for me to do that. I want things to be in place. I often think about starting an exercise program. It's one of those things. And I know with you, you love to garden.
Yeah.
And I see you out working in your garden. But one thing I don't see you struggle with is this.
So it isn't my necessary struggle, but I'm going to couple it with I have grown out of having to be the perfect mom, the perfect wife, the perfect house, the perfect
having
menu.
the perfect garden.
Having the perfect garden.
Because I saw you this weekend just out there just planting and you didn't look, I know you had a rhyme and rhythm of where you wanted things placed, but you weren't like waiting until
the perfect conditions,
the perfect weather. Yes. All of that.
And maybe with gardening, you do have to wait for the perfect conditions. So you don't have a freeze or something. You can then plant. But I think we look unintentionally for excuses so that we aren't quite ready necessarily to be perfect, or we aren't quite ready to entertain, or we aren't quite ready to go to that event because we don't have the perfect outfit. We don't have the perfect clothes. We don't have the perfect income. So therefore I won't do it. You don't have to have all those things because good enough is often good enough.
Right. I think I'm not smart enough to do that.
Oh.
And then I have a fear of I'm not going to do it well, or I'm going to fail. People are going to like laugh at me or think I'm like, that was stupid to do, or who does she think she is? What is she doing? And again, that goes back to last week's stinking thinking.
I know.
Gets in my head, and that fear will keep me from I'm not a perfectionist. You know that.
But it is analysis paralysis.
It is. And it will keep me sometimes good enough needs to be enough. And I know that's what you're going to talk to us about today.
Well, you don't have to have the entire plan. One of my favorite speakers, preachers, teachers is Craig Groeschel. Mm-hmm. I love him. Look him up.
He has a great leadership podcast. I just want to give that a plug. 100%. So good. Yeah.
And his Instagram is great too. Mm-hmm. Really quick shorts. So one of his sayings that I have stolen is the Getmo. Get enough to move on.
Yeah. Ethan, GETMO, Getmo, get enough to move on.
And it's
great.
brilliant. I use it all the time.
Yeah.
I use it when I get stuck in wanting it to be better or wanting to be more of a perfectionist. So I do the Getmo philosophy, and you're the one that turned me on to him. And now I want to turn the rest of the people that I meet onto Craig Rochelle's podcast, Instagram, his socials, his preaching. The Getmo is fantastic, and it helps you move into your next phase.
Right.
So,
and to move into your next phase, like I go back to our intro episode 1, where it was like pressing record. We were like,
we're not ready.
This is all we have. We were struggling with a setup here, you know. We wanted it to be meaningful, so we have our families up here, and we do love these chairs. We're sit up in them a lot when we're up here, but we were like, just Getmo. Press record.
And we did. And you know what? I want to take that in a practical sense for many people that maybe want to start a business, or they want to start a new flower company, or they want to start a new travel opportunity or something like that. And they're like, hey, I don't have enough or whatever. If I, as a business owner and in camp world for 16 years, would have thought I'm going to have 500 kids that come to my camp per summer, I would have never started.
Right.
And I started it because I was newly retired from the workforce, a new mom. I loved my animals. And I thought, I don't know what I'm doing. So I want kids, people, and I want activity. I needed that, right? So we just started with a handful of friends, and we called them lovingly barn rats. And they would come to my farm, and I would occupy about 2.5 hours of their time doing my chores.
Yeah.
And I called them
the kids.
The kids.
Your friends' kids.
My friends' kids.
Yeah. You said your friends, and I was like,
no,
I'm not being a barn rat.
I know.
Sorry.
I don't think you've ever mucked a stall, but your son has.
I have not mucked a stall.
And your daughter has.
I have not. And I don't have intentions, but it's not that I wouldn't if someone really needed my help.
I know.
I just want to say that.
And so when I started the idea of a barn rat Saturday, it had nothing to do with I'm going to have 16 years of camp behind me.
Right. That would have been too overwhelming to think about.
That's so overwhelming. So what I'm getting at is, do not start with the big plan necessarily of implementation, because you'll never do it.
Right. And what if it had just stayed Barn Rat Saturday? That in itself,
that would have been good enough to move on.
It was making a difference in those kids' lives. It was fun for them, because I know they would muck the stalls, and you know, they're kids and whatever, but you also had them brushing the animals. You had them painting and doing arts and crafts,
feeding all the horses.
So you're learning so much. And then you built onto it. Then you added having an animal doctor.
Yeah, my vet would come once a week.
Come and it would sit with the kids, and you know, and then it just went on, and then it did grow to be something way beyond your imagination.
It is way beyond my imagination. And remember last week we talked about, Lord, give me vision and people to do it with. That's when I started praying. I was like, wow, maybe I could turn this into something, right? And I would keep praying, Lord, give me vision, Lord, give me vision. And I started off the business as the working side of the farm. That's what I titled it.
Yeah.
Because I thought, well, I need my farrier to come and I need my vet to come. Pretty much every week I would have something going on.
What does a farrier do?
The shoes.
That's the horseshoes.
The horseshoes.
Okay.
And so I thought, oh, the kids will love this. I think it's quite fascinating. And I love vets. I want to be an educator. So my farrier would come, my vet would come. They would learn to feed. They would learn to take care of the animals, all the animals. And basically, eventually, paid for it.
Right.
And I thought, okay, 25 kids is so great. Like I could do 3 weeks of camp, right?
Yeah.
And then it was, well, all right, I could do 4 weeks of camp and maybe have 50 kids.
Word of mouth spread, because then there were waiting lists, and you were like, oh, let's just add another week.
I know.
Oh, I can add another week. And then I loved how like the kids grew up. And they aged out of camp at 14, but then they could be a counselor in training. And
they're my
so then you were into really like leading people, leading these young people to develop some really important skills for life. So it didn't start there. And I think that's the whole point of this. And don't think, oh, until I because for this, it would be, I don't have the money to do that. I have one chicken and one cow. I mean, or whatever.
It wasn't cow until later when Hannah Grace made me get a cow.
To which you also delivered a cow from that cow.
Was really great
We'll have to share
experience.
that one time because I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Me neither.
And I was just watching on video. But anyway, squirrel.
They're so great.
There we go. But I think it's important. We think we have to be like, have everything set up and in motion to go. And honestly, 99% of the time, it's never going to happen if you wait to have everything in place. One small step.
Right, because they make a world of difference over time. And so the idea is not having necessarily the long range plan right now. You might have the big idea. I wanted to own my own business. How am I going to do it? You got to Gitmo that.
Right.
You really do.
Yeah.
You just have to Gitmo it with really good people surrounding you with and through others that are going to do the things that you're not good at.
Yeah.
I have a 3rd grade math level. I am not going to do any accounting.
Yeah.
You can hire that.
Yes. Yeah.
And in my case, my husband.
Right.
I was like, Kenny, do you think you could do this? And he was like, oh, this is simple, Denise. 25 kids. Yes, we're going to keep it on a spreadsheet. And then eventually it turned into
more
this whole thing. But if I would have thought I had to do it all, I would have never started.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
So I Gitmo'd my business, and so can you. You can Gitmo whatever it is. And I want to use a real simple thing. Let's not take it to the extreme of a business. Let's take it to closet organization. Let's say all your kids are gone.
Yeah.
And you're like
they're grown up out of the house. Yeah.
Right. And one day I'm going to organize all the closets in my house. If you say the word all, you are never going to do it. But if you say, I am going to organize Hunter's closet today.
That's really good because that's actually, you just spoke out loud something
that's dear to every
I keep saying that
heart.
And the repainting. And you've heard me talk about that for 2 years.
Right.
But it's like, I know I'll be doing it myself. And so I'm just like,
Right.
And it's so.
I've told you I'll help you repaint.
I know.
Ugh, I like repainting. Anyway, squirrel. But I think bite-sizing something that is, if it really is something you want to do, then don't just speak about one day, or I have to when I'm done with. Do you really want to organize these closets? And if so, put it on your calendar. This is when you're going to start, and you're going to only do one closet at a time.
Hey, what if today I start organizing this closet?
And remember, good enough is good enough.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Is it?
It always is.
Okay. All right.
It really is.
Good enough is really enough. Yeah, that's so true. Okay, you're inspiring me. And let's not forget, when you take that small step and that closet's reorganized, what is the feeling inside that
feels
happens?
Great.
You're like,
I could do the next one.
And it probably didn't even take you as long as you thought it would. Love it. And then look at all the things you're going to have to donate.
I know. And you know, you can send it to the Matthews Help Center. Little promo.
If you're in the Charlotte, Matthews, North Carolina area. Yes. Yeah, you can give it to somebody who needs it or the place. So that's really great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hey, it's time for my favorite section.
No, the scripture moment?
Well, that too.
Okay. I was like, it should be.
I'll come back to the favorite section. This is my favorite section too.
Her favorite section is not the scripture moment. So we shall pray for you today. No, I'm just kidding. We want to bring it back to faith a little bit because this is something that we struggle with. And then God does have something to say about it that can help us. So that's why I wanted to share 2 verses with you today. One is 2 Corinthians 12:9, and we'll start there. 2 Corinthians 12:9 in the New Testament, way on back here. And I'm going to have to, do I have them? Oh, man.
Hey. Do you want the bottom half of my
Let me
glasses?
have the bottom half of your glasses. Okay, remember, ladies, we're getting older. Do y'all need your reading glasses like I do? Okay. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Bottom half.
Okay. 2 Corinthians 12:9 says this. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. So just stop right there. My power, that's God's power, is made perfect where we are not strong, where we are weak, where we need some encouragement. We need a little nudging. His power is capable of doing many things in our lives, but even the little things like saying, get up, I gave you this body, you can go and fill in the blank with what is it that you're able to do that you've been putting off, and do it. And I want to.
You know what, Melissa? I just thought of something. Last week we talked about give me the grace in this space to replace.
Mm-hmm.
How great to insert that right there.
Right. Yeah.
Give me the grace in this.
Yes. Yeah.
His
And replace it with
strong.
Yeah. Replace it with my power is made perfect in your weakness.
Yep.
I mean, that's just so great. And then verse 10 says, that is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses and insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, I am strong. And I say, I don't exactly delight in hardships and difficulties and persecutions and things like that. Those are really hard. But I know when I get through something really tough,
how strong you're
so
going
much
to be.
stronger on the other end, and then I'm able to deal with it better. And sometimes he even gives me the great joy of being able to help somebody else with it because I've been through it, so I actually can speak about it.
And trials are just God's megaphone, in my opinion.
Aye.
I remember C.S. Lewis saying something like that. It's God's megaphone to wake us up to like his strength in our weakness.
Well, thank you, C.S. Lewis.
I love him
for that. The other one is Psalm 46:10, and this is just more of a take a deep breath kind of a verse. It says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." In other words, God is above all. He is above all. And sometimes our minds get to thinking, we're like, I don't have everything together. I don't have enough to move on. Whatever today has is not enough.
Right.
But if I can just sit down and get away from the noise, if you go back to the Message version, it says step out of the traffic.
Mm-hmm. That's a great one.
You have to, or for me, I'm not going to tell people what to do, but I know it helps me to step back. And like even this morning, you said, I've had all these thoughts. I've just been brainstorming in my head all day. We've had a house full for the past 4 days of like, I don't know, at times 12 people, between 6 and 12 people, a lot of activity.
High energy people.
Yes, the Taylor family was here. It was my husband's 60th birthday. We were on the go, having a party, had friends over, celebrating a lot. And then now they've all left. They all left. And it's quiet. And I'm like, girl, you have the space to think now.
Yeah.
You were still.
Yeah.
And then you had that space. So just to be still and say, okay, you're God, I'm not. And you are above all. And I can trust you to work in my life. And Lord, help me see that today, good enough really is enough.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I know. And you know what?
I just found my glasses.
Oh,
they
good.
Right
I can have
mine
lap. Back. I can have mine
Sorry.
back because I can't see you. Anyway, I will say also, thinking about like the long range plan, again, it's the journaling. And I can't stress it enough that we journal our thoughts, and our thoughts then we think over them and they are either true or not. But then we think, do I really want to do this? Mm-hmm. And I think many times you said, after I thought, oh, let's do a podcast, let's do something. And you're like, okay, let's do YouTube. And we called it PodTube. And I was like, do you really want to do this? And I really wrote stuff down, and I found myself dreaming about the PodTube. And I was like, yeah, I really do want to do this. Yeah. So I think if there's something that is in you, that's maybe your pretty much your passion, if you can turn it into your profession, like it's just a joy, and it's a dream that comes true, but it's a God dream. Yeah. Because he puts that passion in you. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, it's like we both talked about it, and we're like, if no one listens to this, we're having good conversations.
We are we're having a good time.
Good conversations that actually help us
they do.
To remember things that are important to anybody, but especially in this season of our lives, where we can so quickly feel like we just don't have enough, that we're not good enough.
Right.
Yeah. So that's great. Well, I got some good news for you.
Is it time?
Now it's time for your favorite segment. Yes.
It's called Fun, Petty, Foodalicious, SBLadocious. And if you spell fun backwards, guess what? It's NUF.
NUF. Good enough. Yeah.
It's enough.
Fun.
Okay, so I
Good
want
enough.
you to talk about.
Good enough.
Okay, so we thought about this. I want you to talk about and go way back when our kids were really little,
Oh.
and I will bring it into us as adults. Go ahead.
Okay, yes, because I have 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
The first 3, the oldest was 3 when number 3 was born.
Yes.
He was about to turn 4, but he was 3. And then I was done. No more kids for me. And 4 years later, surprise,
Along
Melissa.
comes Haley Grace.
Along came Haley Grace. And so number 4 is born. But anyway, moving forward, boy, anyone who says, oh, after 2 kids, it's all the same. It is not true. I'm like, every human being is another human being that you have to take care of. But life got really, really busy. I mean, when they started growing up, they had different activities they were doing. My kids are nothing alike. We're not the family that everyone loves baseball or everyone loves lacrosse. Everybody had a completely different love of something. Some of it was on the art side and the music side. Some of it was on the athletic side, just all over the place. But so it was hard and I was tired. I really struggled as a mom. I struggled as a wife, went through some really hard times just in personal life. So one of the struggles was the complaints I got at the dinner table. I don't like this. Ooh, yuck, and I was like, oh, what can I do? I want to make dinner fun. I thought, good families are having great conversations over the dinner table and learning from dad and all this great stuff. And ours did not look anything like that. So
came up with,
our kids loved this show,
The Rugrats
on Nickelodeon. And it was these little babies who went on adventures.
Yes.
Okay. One of the babies was named Chucky. And Chucky was this little red-headed rugrat. He looked like a rugrat. They all looked like rugrats. But Chucky had this bright red hair and these big glasses. And so we were like, I was talking with Denise because she was also home with her kids at the time. And I think you're the one that said, oh, after 2, it's not any more work.
Remember, I only had 2.
She had 2. She did have more dogs than me, but and animals. So I'll give you that. I will give you that. But yeah, so I think you made it up. Maybe I made it up.
I don't know. We did it together.
She was cooking something with noodles, and I was like, hey, let's call it Chucky's hair because it was spaghetti noodles. And so it had that wild Chucky hair with the red sauce.
Because we baked it
on
remember?
It. Oh, yeah, we did.
It got like sort of hardish.
Mixed it up and baked it. Yes.
With the cheese.
Some call that baked ziti or baked spaghetti.
We called it Chucky's hair.
Yes.
Yep. And every now and then, Chucky's hair was a little dirty, and we would slip in some spinach and such for a little extra nutrition. But hey,
a little chicken or something like that. And
it worked.
I mean, again, sometimes I would slip in some of the vegetables and I'd have somebody picking them out or being like, I don't like this.
But at least we offered
what? It was a Gitmo.
It was a Gitmo.
Got enough to move on. And of course, we couldn't serve that every night, but I also learned peanut butter and jelly could be Gitmo.
She put it on the center of her thing. Remember with the bananas, you would put a whole thing of peanut butter and a whole thing of jelly or jam with just 2 big, long knives.
Yeah.
You would have a nice, beautiful bread sliced all up, this beautiful bread and bananas. And
by beautiful bread, she means like the kind you buy at the store that's sliced into loaf bread. Okay?
Yes, but it was beautiful. You did a nice presentation. You're like, if you don't like what we're having, they would
make their own peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah. And you know what? With bananas, hey, that's a good thing.
A little bit of protein, a little bit of carbs. And
we were good.
Sometimes you just got to get them.
You do. And I'm going to fast forward that whole philosophy to us as adults, especially empty nesters. And I think it's hard.
Or just people, just women in general who
on
are
the go that are working.
Or in our age of life,
our
phase of life where things might not look as we thought they would be. We're not where we thought we would be. And then it comes time to feed ourselves. And that's a chore.
It is a chore, especially if you're used to feeding these large families to then all of a sudden it's just you and your husband, or you're an empty nester and you're a widow, let's say,
or divorced. You're just alone.
And you're all by yourself. So how do I Gitmo something like that? And in my opinion, keeping it simple, keeping it so simple, a rotisserie chicken and a bag of salad, that works.
That's good.
That's so easy. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It doesn't have to look a certain way.
Right.
And if whoever it is that you're with doesn't like that, they're going to, first of all, tell you, or they're going to be kind enough to eat it along with you. But then you'll come up with something else just as simple as that. And it doesn't have to be complex.
But I'll tell you, at my house, the person I'm married to, is just a little bit older than me. And guess what? He knows how to make his own supper.
And he does it quite often. So does Kenny.
He likes to eat mostly the same thing.
Yeah.
And I like to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'll be like, hey, this is what I'm fixing. And he might take pieces of it. Like he might take the salmon and make a flatbread out of it. Or something like that, to where I might have the salmon on my salad, or I might doctor it up a little bit more. But yeah, it is all about the gitmo. And again, give yourself that grace and that space. And
to move on.
To move on.
Yes.
Gitmo, people.
I love it.
Yes.
Remember, fun spelled backward?
Enough.
It's enough.
And you've got enough.
I love that one.
That's so good. Okay, everybody. We're going to wrap it up by sharing some takeaways. And I will tell you, I think Gitmo is the main takeaway.
Yeah.
Get enough to move on. I will tell you, though, don't use that as an excuse to be lazy.
Right.
Use it as a reason to keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Get enough to move on. And the other thing is, I just want to go back to God's word. When we are weak, he is strong. Yep. And that power is made perfect in our weakness. And so we don't need to despair when things are down or we're not moving forward. And the other thing is to step away, step out of the traffic, be still, and just remember you're not alone. God is with you always.
And think about, what are your small steps that you can make today?
Right. So take that and just if that's all you take away today, then I think you've definitely got enough to move on. And you can say, yes, today really was good enough. Good enough was enough.
So thanks for joining us. Because, hey, what if today? Because today matters more than you think. Love you.
Love you.
Wonder Twin powers.
Activate.
Only people that are our age are going to know that.
Wonder Twin powers.
I love it.
I can't even tell you who said that.
Oh,
the Wonder
Twins.
Okay, and we're out.